OMG, that childhood. The Magic School Bus was an educational cartoon series that ran from 1994 to 1997, and this was one of the rare educational programming shows that we as kids of the 90s actually tuned into. Like, we got sucked in because it was just a fun cartoon to watch. Tricked us into learning. The Magic School Bus is basically about this crazy free-spirited teacher named Miss Frizzle who kidnaps children and takes them into these magical worlds. Like, in one episode, she'll take the school bus and fly to outer space with the children, and then she could, like, shrink the school bus to a tiny little microscopic size and fly into the body of one of the children, and then teach all the other children how the human anatomy works. Joey, do you like movies about gladiators? I'm pretty sure she's breaking a lot of laws doing this, but I guess at the end of the day, she taught those kids a lesson, by gum. This show is just some of the best educational 90s memories us 90s kids have. I mean, there's this, Arthur, Carmen Sandiego, and Bill Nye the Science Guy. And then maybe playing some of those educational games on our Macintosh school computers. I don't know if you all realize this or not, but science kinda rules. And here's a video game based on that memorable cartoon series. This is an educational video game for the Sega Genesis. It's basically a combination of a bunch of different minigames. Some of the minigames play like actual games, like you're trying to land a space shuttle, which is just your bus. You're flying to various planets and you have complete control of your spaceship, which is, once again, just your bus. You're supposed to take good pictures of cool things you see on your journey to these other planets. You're supposed to collect all these balls by flying into them, and you're supposed to shoot down the asteroids. You can also speed up and slow down. It handles really, really well. I mean, if this was just like some kind of Star Wars game, just this portion of the game, it would be a good Star Wars game. This is a very professionally made game. There's also gameplay which is basically just like platforming. You're running to the right on something like the moon. You have various vehicles you can jump into. You can jump and double jump, and you have these boosters to get some serious air. And of course, you have to avoid various obstacles on your journey. And at the end, Miss Frizzle is just kind of stand there like, yeah, good job, 10-year-old boy. You just survived a deadly obstacle course on the moon. Don't tell your parents, or I might be fired. Not all the minigames are fun in actual games. Sometimes the minigames are something as simple as putting a picture together. The things you have to keep up with in this game is how much air you have, how much fuel you have, and how much time you have remaining. Once you combine keeping up with those stats and paying attention to the gameplay, you should do pretty well in almost all the minigames. The educational part of this game comes in the form of learning what all the things are that you're interacting with. Like, you're gonna learn what all the planets are, where they are in our solar system, what we would weigh when we are on those planets. You learn various NASA lingo, and you learn what all the various spaceships and spaceship equipment does and what it's called. This game, just like the actual show it's based on, tricks you into learning by actually being fun to play most of the time. I would say this is a game for the younger players just because of the kind of stuff you learn, but the gameplay's difficulty curve is high enough where it would present a challenge to even older players. Ultimately, this is just a delicious piece of 90s cake, and if you're a 90s kid like myself, I totally recommend trying this game out. The Magic School Bus for the Sega Genesis gets an educational Stan Birdman rating of a 7.3 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.